Who goes there?
That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Call of Cthulhu. Now, we had just escaped the asylum, and we need to get some answers. Because our friend here, Officer Bradley, last time we saw him, he was dead. And yet, here he is, without a big hole in his chest. And then, there's this mysterious woman who helped us escape the asylum. What happened? And why are we back in the Hakins mansion? Now, I do have 3 points. Do you want to spend these right now? Could get psychology up to the next level. I think that's what we were aiming for, so let's do that. Now our sanity is shaken. The ordeals you've gone through have left their mark. But you still manage the best you can. You keep your mind busy in order to chase away doubts and painful memories. You still have some way to go, who knows, where your mind can lead you along the path of insanity. Francis Sanders knew Sarah Hakins so well that he accused her of being the source of his suffering. The man gouged out his own eyes with his hands and smeared the wall of his cell with esoteric symbols. He seemed to be obsessed with a shambler linked to Sarah Hakins. He died right before my eyes in circumstances I cannot explain. Cellars of the Riverside Institute. Strictly speaking, I didn't spend much time in the hospital. When I woke up, I was immediately transferred to the cellars of the Institute, a sort of clandestine asylum where Dr. Fuller carried out his experiments on patients without being troubled. Unknown to the machines, sit beside anatomical drawings that are disturbing to say the least. I just managed to escape from this place. I might not have as much luck another time. According to this record, patients seem to be suffering from psychosis. Sarah Hakins was interned at Riverside for fits of insanity well before her death. She wasn't at her first attempt with the fire in the mansion. Document attesting to the fact that Irene Sanders, wife of Francis Sanders, had her husband interned after he had shown grave signs of madness. Alright, I forgot about Sanders. Kinda flipped out and started flying around the room.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Yes, I am, Mary.
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
You should be dead. How are you
How's
alive?
our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Don't have enough occultism or professionalism. Not enough medicine.
You two know each other pretty well.
It's a tiny island. Everyone knows everyone. Especially since I'm a police officer and Marie's a doctor.
The chemistry is obvious.
Fair enough.
I do seem a little bit stupid, don't I? Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
So they're a bit of a thing.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hakins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hakins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Probably.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
What happened, Bradley?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital, and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
Okay, so he's kind of disturbed about that. Interesting. Let's talk to Marie. Tell me about Sarah Hawkins.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
That's a good question.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla.
Oh.
He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish
That's
to
good.
know anything
We'll
else?
need that. Tell me about the bodies.
Dr. Fuller
ones
seems to be
underneath the
leaving
hospital.
a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr.
Bradley looks
Fuller
pretty
is highly
terrified.
respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Alright, so I think that's everything we can do right now. It might be onto a lead, or what they had me endure.
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller, and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hakins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
He called him the Shambler.
I didn't see what, but something was there, with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree.
Yeah.
She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's better to err on the side of caution. Until we know everything, we can't reveal our hand.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see
Yeah, that
Francis's
seems like
widow.
an important decision.
Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
You're alright, Bradley. Alright. Talk to the Sanders widow. In theory, Sanders' father was a renowned art collector. I must question his widow, Irene Sanders, to know more about his links with Sarah Hawkins and discover the identity of the visitor he talked about before he died. Dr. Fuller reigns as the undisputed master of the Riverside Institute. And he's a bit of a prick too, from what he did to me. And all those other patients. And of the cellars in which he carried out illegal experiments on his patients. I don't know what he's done to me, but I shouldn't be back on my feet so soon after my fall when the tunnels under the Hawkins mansion caved in. This man is dangerous, and I swear that he knows more about all this business than he's willing to tell.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Dying and coming back to life?
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Alright, so I gotta find the Sanders widow.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well.
Oh,
Look
it's
who's here.
Cat.
You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Nice place you
May
got
I
here.
inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings.
How so?
Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your
Okay.
kind words. Nobody in
We
that
didn't reveal
hospital
our hand,
would deign to
so
speak
that's
them
good.
to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to
Fair.
understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Hold a test, eloquence. Share your grief. True culprit is Fuller. Kind of in between these two. I don't think our eloquence is high enough, though.
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way.
Not at all.
But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the
Really?
center of the gallery. No better place for the painting
What?
that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hakins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only
might.
lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long. Did she really care for him after all?
Dear Madam, I acknowledge receipt of the letter in which you demand the body of your deceased husband. I'm sorry to inform you that I cannot agree to the return of his body to you. At the moment of his interment, you signed a discharge. Allow me to dispose of his body as I see fit. I extend deepest condolences to you, Dr. Thomas Fuller. Yeah, of course he doesn't want to release the body. It would bring about too many questions. Just excuse me as I...
The day the
examine all
Shambler
of
came
it.
into the Sanders' lives.
Interesting. Excuse me. Oh, medicine. Nice. So I'm guessing that's a puzzle for later. Or I missed a clue somewhere.
Frances Sanders and Sarah Hakins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. A house of artists. A house of artists. Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hakins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
Yeah.
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She despises Sarah Hakins, but it's the painting she truly hates. Why? She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel?
Should I have not done that? So that's when he gouged out his eyes?
I need to see it.
I'm gonna go say hello to Kat.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
An audio recording of Francis Sander left for his wife. Oh. So I'm just gonna take that. Well, she did say to make myself comfortable. I guess being comfortable means breaking in, examining everything.
a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head.
Oh.
I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes.
This must have been before he gouged out his eye.
I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
So that kind of looks like Irene over here. And are these paintings... No, they don't look like something Sarah would have done. Hers were more grotesque, right? Maybe these were other parts of his collection.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
An ancient amulet by Amerindian. I wonder what its purpose could be. I'm just taking that.
I could use one of those.
I found these sleeping pills in the Sanders home. Were they prescribed to Francis or Irene?
Strange. For months, Sarah Hakins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Dear Francis, I beg you to give up all your hope of ever owning this accursed painting. If our friendship has any meaning for you, please spare me the weight of the guilt. I cannot be the architect of your fall. I beg you, my dear friend. Forget the shambler. Your friend, Sarah Hakins. So he was really pushing her for it then.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
This volume spends some time on Reverend Wickwood's community. His wife expresses her worries about the strange dreams that the Reverend congregation have been having since their arrival on the island. Some members of the community, her husband included, began speaking of their visions as a messenger sent by God. She is scared that they will suffer the same fate as the lost tribe. Ooh, I got a key to the Sanders gallery. Oh, it's occultism. Maybe I shouldn't have. This is a kind of encyclopedia of monstrous unknown creatures. I'm beginning to believe that they exist. You look rather worried. I don't know if I've ever seen you look that wide-eyed. Anatomical question. It is the work of a student in book form. Although the observations are relevant, they lack the expertise of an experienced physician. However, the questions asked allow us to imagine new ways of exploring the human anatomy. Alright, better medicine. I like it. So I've only got 1 point, we'll save that. Malleus Beasterum. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have read that. Irene Sanders. It's clear that she holds Sarah Hawkins responsible for the death of her husband. But what I don't understand about Irene is this mix of sadness and insensitivity. It looks like she had given up on her husband long before his horrid death in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. The dimensional shambler comes from a dark and inhospitable dimension, where the rarity of food sources keeps it in a state of permanent starvation. This is why it is in constant state of readiness to travel to other dimensions in order to feed on its inhabitants. Make sure you never weaken the veils of your dimension, otherwise you risk attracting this very dangerous creature. Should this happen, you just have to lay eyes upon it, for its being to anchor itself to your dimension and allow it to rip you open with its claws. Men will gather the knowledge through lines dictated to me by the great old ones, but also in other volumes. The visions that assail me whisper me names and silhouettes of mystical creatures. Soon the Malice Monstrorum, repository of all anomical and cosmic and dimensional knowledge, will be seen as an authoritative work. This book, unholy among the most cursed books, will one day be the final rampart between man and the predators that are waiting to devour him, hidden behind the veils of parallel dimensions.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say? Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
Okay, I'll leave you to your books. This looks more like something Sarah Hawkins would have painted. So this is the gallery. Okay, let's get out of there. I forgot we don't like to hide anymore. He was really into some occult shit. These things look pretty cool, though. Just, no other observations?
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
That's cool. Cthulhu statue carrying a child?
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Quite a disturbing one. What's this? Some sort of... What's that, polar bear mauling a sea lion? I guess that's a shambler over there. Let's keep looking around first.
The public entrance to the gallery. Why was he so interested in old weapons? Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Ooh, that is cool looking. Different take on the Sphinx. Oh, that's oil. Okay. Cthulhu lion statue. Interesting. There's lots of cool shit in here. What is this, echidna? By the looks of this, he would sit here and examine the painting for hours.
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
Far from possessing the talents of Sarah Hakins, Sanders drew a dagger with a tortured form down on the smallest detail. The guard carries a strange esoteric symbol, a recurring feature of his correspondence with Sarah. Well, let's see if we can find it.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Not that one. That's not it. That's not it. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
That's it, right? Yeah, that's the dagger. He does have it.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
So I might be coming back for that. Or is it just a copy? Alright, let's examine the painting. The Shambler. That is so cool.
What the hell was that?
So now I have to get out of here.
I can't even touch it.
Okay, so what am I supposed to do? I hear him coming. So do I just have to wait for so long? I thought I had... sleeping pills, maybe not. Oh, I do, but they're in knowledge. I don't think I can use them. I don't know what I'm supposed to do or where I'm supposed to go. I wonder if I have to get to the painting somehow and destroy it. He did say to burn it. I'll try and make our way over there. Just as soon as this bastard gets out of here. Come on, go. I'm losing it. gonna bust out of here. I'm sure that's what he's gonna do, or I'm gonna pass out. I don't know. Oh shit, no. Oh, fuck. Go on, you bastard. Not good.
What the hell was that? That thing came out of this bank. There has to be. What the hell was that?
Okay, so what am I supposed to do here? So... don't know what to do.
Damn. This dagger looks different.
Okay, so he's here. What do I do with the dagger? I doubt I can attack him with it. Maybe I have to cut up the painting. So I have to make my way over there. Yeah, leave. There's nothing going on. Nothing at all. Just go about your merry way. Okay. Take a breath. Good thing I found out where this was in here before. You didn't see me. At least now I'll know where he is. So which way you going? So you're going out that way, so I'll leave that way. Oh shit. Oh fuck, man. Oh, that's not good.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Little bit. So, do I want to be a drunk, or do I want to tell her I was attacked by something? Neither of those sound really good. Fuck. Alright. Take a deep breath. That was intense. I was attacked by a creature.
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
What?
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information.
What do you want
like
in a
that.
way?
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
Oh, looks like someone beat us here. Looks like there's blood on the broken glass.
Where is the bookseller?
Alright, and I think we'll leave it there for this episode. And we'll investigate the antique dealer next time to figure out what happened here. So we got some good progress, I think. We faced the Shambler and survived. It is in Francis Sanders' private gallery, that Pierce discovered the identity of the Shambler, a huge artwork painting by Sarah Hakins. When Pierce approached it, the creature burst forth from the painting and immediately chased after him. This beast from another dimension has such a hold on the mind of a person who finds himself in its presence that a simple glance in its direction is enough for Pierce to lose some sanity. Pierce finally managed to send the Shambler back to the painting, using a dagger engraved with a strange rune. But this encounter has left its mark on the psyche of the investigator. Still under the influence of the creature, he almost stabbed his own hand. Much in the same way Francis gouged out his own eyes. The Sanders house, all in shades of red and gold, is impressive, but nothing matches the private gallery of Francis Sanders. The place is huge and entirely dedicated to his passion for troubling and macabre works. Defaced figures of virgins, sacrificial daggers, statues of monsters, and the painting that led him to his demise takes center stage. The Shambler, A painting by Sarah Hakins, a close friend of the couple. What happened in this room, I will never be able to forget it. The painting was exposed in Francis Sanders' gallery, but I think that the creature no longer requires it for movement. I went to hunt Sanders in the cellar of the Riverside Institute. I do not know where it comes from, but one thing is for sure, it's starving. Did I succeed in sending it back to its world? I'm not sure. This exceptional dagger of the Ottoman origin probably dates from the 16th century. It bears the elder sign on its hilt. It apparently belonged to Pergali Ibrahim Pasha, Grand Vizier at the court of the Suleiman the Magnificent. Legend tells that Pergali used the symbol on the dagger to protect the court from a creature that haunted the mirrors of the palace. What is certain is that Suleiman and his vizier had his vizier executed. Did he fear him after he demonstrated his power? Interesting. So we fought the Shambler, met Irene. So, next time we'll investigate this bookstore. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.